Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Prog Talk, a new thing I'm trying out where to sit here and kind of deep dive into a little bit of the thing called prog. Now, in my last video, I kind of went through like a brief history of like prog is, where it came from, how it originated, kind of, but not really. I kind of went off track with that one. So anyway, I decided in episode 2, I'm going to go a little bit more of a deep dive and just get really deep into the process of what is prog. Alright, so anyway, in my first video that I did, posted maybe about a week ago, maybe a little over a week ago, kind of went through like how the general belief or the general consensus is prog really started off with the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album, and just branched out to there from like the 60s Cadbury scene era of prog to like the prog rock era of the 70s, 80s, and then it kind of dived into progressive rock and space rock and avant-garde, and you know, there's jazz fusion and all other kinds of fun prog genres, you know, gens, all that stuff. Anyway, so to get a little bit more in-depth view of what prog can also consist of is a lot of times, like most bands will just use only a certain kind of instrument. With prog, they're just like, you know what? We're going to use every instrument to our advantage. Meaning that there's going to be guitars, and there's going to be drums, there's going to be bass guitar, there's going to be singing, there's going to be keyboards, there's going to be even wind instruments. Like okay, some very well-known bands of prog who've been very well known to use wind instruments. I think the most recognizable name would be Jethro Tull. I mean, Ian Anderson, Jethro Tull, that dude playing the flute, you know, he's got like one leg up, like you got a little captain in you. Amazing. A more newer band, I would say, but amazing. I think you should all check them out. It's a band called Thank You Scientists. They are, like, if you were to take like a ska band but make it more progressive, that's Thank You Scientists. They actually have a whole like brass instrument ensemble in the band, and they sound amazing. Like, seriously, go check out the band Thank You Scientist. They are incredible. All right, and of course there's a lot of very classic bands that have implemented some kind of wind instrument. King Crimson has been known to do it in their early days. What's really interesting about King Crimson, actually, is their first album, their original singer actually branched off from Cream Crimson to form ELP, or Emerson, Lake and Palmer. What really sucks is that Greg Lake and Keith Emerson are both no longer with us, but their legacy continues on. And like, their first album is like personally one of my absolute favorite prog rock albums. Like, and The Court of the Crimson King, oh my god, that album is amazing. Like, how could you not listen to the album and you're just like, you just cannot help when the chorus of the song comes on. You know, you just have to belt it out. That's how amazing the song is. It's so good. I might just add a little clip in here of that little part, you know, of the song, because it's so awesome. I love it. Alright, so anyway, with that, so in the 60s, of course, you had the Cadbury scene of prog rock, and the 70s, of course, like when prog was really at its peak. I mean, prog was like at its height. It might not be as a big, as popular like genre today, but there are still tons and tons of amazing prog rock bands, prog metal bands that are coming out nowadays. Just to name a few off the top of my head, of course, you have You have Thank You Scientist, you have Animals as Leaders, you have Wobbler, you have Caligula's Horse, which is actually funny. With Caligula's Horse, I'm actually like the lead singer of Caligula's Horse has actually like post of mine on Instagram, and I think it's really funny because the dude is great. I have high respect, and like seriously, like I cannot get enough of Slow Violence by Caligula's Horse. It is such a great song. I just love Caligula's Horse in general. Anyway, so you have Coheed and Cambria, which is surprisingly they actually are prog rock. A lot of people will be like, wait, what? The Mars Volta, also not very well known to be in prog rock, but nope, they are technically. Yeah, there's a lot of really great bands coming out that are progressive, that are just really amazing. Polyphia, Chimp Spanner. Oh, I can go on forever about this. Just forever, but that will probably take like a very, very long time. I could just naming stuff left and right. But anyway, we're going to be less going with the new stuff, and we're going to focus more on the old stuff. Now, of course, like, I guess you can say the big four of, if there was ever a big four of prog rock bands, you know, big four, like, originally, like Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, and Anthrax. But for me, if there was a big four of prog rock bands, it's more opinion, but my big four would be my top favorite band of all time, Rush. I'm a diehard Rush fan. I love everything Rush. I have Rush posters in my place. I have seen Rush at least 4 times in concert before they retired and before the unfortunate passing of my absolute hero, Mr. Neil Elwood Peart. One of the greatest drummers of all time. People might say, no, well, this is my opinion. I'm not saying that he actually is. It's just what I feel. Rush's music has inspired me. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, okay. So my prog rock, Mount Rushmore, my prog rock big four would be Rush as number 1. I also would put, we're going classic, very, very classic. Like started maybe in 60s, around 70s. Okay. So Rush would be on there with King Crimson, because like King Crimson has always been amazing, especially like Tony Levin's bass playing. Oh my gosh. And when Tony Levin plays that stick bass thing, especially when he's done his solo projects and stuff, with like solo projects and Stickman and Liquid Tension Experiment, he is just an amazing bass player. High respects, always high respects to Tony Levin. The dude is incredible. Incredible bass player. Like, for me, like one of the best in prog rock. He's amazing. Like, holy shit, the dude's incredible. Anyway, so for number 3, I would put Pink Floyd. I mean, they've been around technically since the 60s when they were considered like psychedelic rock, and then after Syd Barrett left the band, it was like, I think I'm going to branch off. We're going to branch off into like a different kind of, try something new. And it went from psychedelic rock, and it just branched off to something amazing. You know, I know that most people, when they look at Pink Floyd, they think Dark Side of the Moon, The Wall, and Wish You Were Here. But my thing is, those are great albums. They're absolutely fantastic albums, and they deserve the recognition that they do. But I just feel like there are some albums that are just kind of overlooked in Pink Floyd's catalog, in my opinion. Like, Animals is amazing. Animals is an incredible album that I think a lot of people overlook and just, like, not bother with. Also, Atom Heart Mother is incredible. Like, you cannot go wrong with Atom Heart Mother. It's such an amazing album. It's incredible. There's a lot of things that people don't really pay attention to in Pink Floyd's catalog, and that's unfortunate because they have some amazing stuff outside their 3 best known albums of all time. And then number 4, yes, That's the name of the band. Listen to keyboard solo on Roundabout. It will blow the classical music out your butt. If you know where that's from, then congratulations, you are officially old, like me. Alright, so yes. What makes Yes so amazing and deserving of a big 4 spot? I mean, come on, it's Yes. Like, it is literally... what else do I need to say? Like, Owner of a Lonely Heart, Roundabout, Long Distance Runaround, all of Close to the Edge. I mean, come on. It's, yeah, like Ian Anderson. Not Ian Anderson. John Anderson, sorry. I'm mixing up Jethro Tull, Yes, right now. So, yeah, John Anderson, the original lead singer of Yes. I think it's a new singer nowadays. But, like, Yes definitely deserves to be in, like, the Mount Rushmore or my top big 4 of prog rock bands. Of course, this is just my opinion. You might have a different intake of who the big 4, your big 4 of prog rock bands would be. And it could be prog rock, prog metal, whatever. Anyway, that is just my thing. So, in the meantime, let's see. So, we're going to... Okay, so besides, very well-known bands, there's a ton of just, like, really obscure, unknown bands that played prog rock that are from the 60s, 70s era. One of the most, my opinion, one of the most obscure, most bizarre prog rock bands of that era is a band called Magma. Now, if you are like a deep dive into prog guy like me, you know Magma. So like you listen to Magma, like, whoa, this is crazy, but it's amazing. Holy shit, what is this? Yeah, Magma is like one of those really crazy, obscure bands. It's like you're not really sure what to think of it. If I'm not mistaken, I think Magma might be from France, but their song titles are just this weird gibberish, bunch of jumble stuff, and it's kind of hard to comprehend what they're going for. It seems like a language that's not French, but they might be French, but I don't remember for sure. But yeah, they are actually really good and are awesome, but also at the same time extremely, extremely bizarre. It's like, wait, whoa, the hell? Alright, and of course there's a bunch of like tons and tons of just like classic bands, of the prog era, 60s and 70s. Of course, we branched off from Sgt. Pepper from the Beatles and went with like Genesis. And Yes, Yes has been around for a long time. I mean, their first album must have came out, I want to say, before the 70s, so I guess they're very much considered one of the pioneers. One of the very, very pioneers of prog rock, with Genesis, King Crimson, Jethro Tull, I think might have started in that time period, but pretty sure I might be wrong about that. I would have to look up into the history. But yeah, there's a lot of just really, really, really great bands out there. And so one thing, so avant-garde is one thing I want to talk about here. Avant-garde is this kind of a very fancy term for experimental. That's pretty much what it means. And one of the best, well-known avant-garde artists out there. Personally, one of my absolute favorite singers and musicians of all time, Frank motherfucking Zappa. Like anything Frank Zappa related, or Mothers of Invention, which is another one of his side projects. Amazing! Like, I love everything Frank Zappa. Zappa is just a god. I mean, Joe's Garage, Shake Booty, Apostrophe, a Burnt Weenie Sandwich. This everything that Frank Zappa does is amazing. And of course, the ever so infamous film, was it 200 Motels or 500 Motels? One of those. But it's just the wackiest thing. Because, back in the day, a lot of bands did, like, movies based off their music. Like, The Who made Tommy, which is one of the most bizarre acid trips ever. And then Pink Floyd, The Wall, which is a movie based off the album. And literally, that shit was an absolute acid fest. Like, oh, what the hell? But yeah, so it was an absolute acid fest of a movie. And then there's the ever so infamous Frank Zappa film, 200 Motels or 500 Motels. I can't remember the exact name. Yeah, that one also is an acid trip because, well, it's Frank Zappa. You know anything about Frank Zappa? That dude was weird. I mean, come on. Frank Zappa has a song called Why Does It Hurt When I Pee? Hey, you should probably get yourself checked out. That's probably not a good thing. But anyway, yes. There are like a plethora of just well-known bands of that era. A lot of really not well-known bands, but when you deep dive and just go from like the surface and you go down. I might have actually eventually make an iceberg video, kind of going from, very well-known bands to like down to the bottom of who's that? I never heard of them. Should be fun. I've never actually done iceberg videos, and I've seen a lot of people do them, and they seem pretty fun. So I figured, hey, why not just do a iceberg video on prog rock? But that will come for another day. So yes, so a lot to go. I could just go on for hours if need be, deep diving as far as possible to the very depths below. But we'll do that for another video, for another time. So, now that we kind of did a little bit of a dive more into prog rock, we're going to do a little bit of a dive into prog metal. Now, of course, one of the most well-known prog metal bands right here, Dream Theater. Dream Theater! Really started off that jump in prog metal. And people will have their opinions about Dream Theater. My opinion is I love Dream Theater. People like, well, yeah, John Petrucci's a great guitarist. He's fucking awesome. He's amazing. Yeah, but I don't like James LaBrie's singing. Honestly, James LaBrie's singing does not bother me. And people are like, well, they're not as good without Mike Portnoy. Yes, I agree with that. Mike Portnoy was an amazing drummer. But honestly, in my opinion, I think that Mike Mangini made a great replacement. He's no Mike Portnoy. I know, he's no Mike Portnoy. I understand that. But due to the circumstances, I know Mike Portnoy wanted to leave for the longest time. Even when they were doing Metropolis Part 2, Scenes of a Memory, that he just wanted to leave. And it took him up until, I think, Octavarium to actually leave. And then after Octavarium, that's when they got Mike Mancini. But I respects, I love both Mike Portnoy and Mike Mancini. They did phenomenal jobs with Dream Theater. And you got Jordan Rudess just ripping on those keyboards. Like, honestly, like... And, of course, the ever so quiet John Minyoung. Like, everyone pretty much in Dream Theater at this point has done some kind of solo project. Mike Portnoy has done tons of solo projects since leaving Dream Theater. He's been in like hundreds of other bands, and a lot of them are just amazing. He's a great drummer. Mike Mancini, I don't think... He might be another person who's never actually done any solo projects, since he's not really exactly an original member of Dream Theater. But, of course, James LaBrie's done solo stuff, Jordan Rudess, and John Petrucci. But one thing I don't really understand is, I guess maybe because he's such a quiet figure, doesn't talk much. He's kind of like the guy in the background. But those... John Minyoung just... Come on, dude. That dude is incredible. And hey, if you ever want to buy like a John Minyoung signature Ernie Ball Music Band guitar, what you're gonna need is an arm and a leg. That's it, and some cash and an arm and a leg, because that's how much it's gonna cost. Yeah, but John Minyoung also, he's never actually done any actual solo projects outside of Dream Theater, but that's okay. I mean, honestly, that'd be really cool if he did. I mean, I'm not saying that he needs to sing. Like, maybe just do, like, something where, like, it's just kind of instrumental thing. Like, Jordan Rudess has done that, and John Petrucci's done that, where it's, like, no actual singing very much. But also, it would be really awesome. Of course, it wouldn't work because, of course, John Young likes to not do solo projects. If he was kind of part of Liquid Tension Experiment, if, say, that Tony Levin was not with it. Now, Liquid Tension Experiment, that is actually a pretty much, you could say, like a side project of Dream Theater. It consists of Jordan Rudess on keyboards, and Mike Portnoy on drums, and John Petrucci on guitar, and Tony Levin on the bass, or the little stick thing. You know, I'm not really sure how those work, but it looks amazing, and I really wish I could have one, but no, I don't think I can afford something like that. Not at this point. I already have, well, 4 guitars, not super expensive guitars. I mean, I think the most expensive guitar I have is a Fender Jazz Bass, but anyway, so of course Dream Theater, and just like, oh gosh, I can just, let's see, you got Sympathy X, you know, which is a lot of people say is, they compare Sympathy X and Dream Theater as being very similar, and in fact there's like a meme based off of this with like Captain America and Iron Man. I'll actually just put it up here, and then you can see, you know, just there you go. So yes, and then there's Sympathy X, and there is oh gosh, what was that? Queensryche is well known. Of course, like, you got Silent Lucidity. I'm not sure if I said that right. It's, sometimes I have trouble pronouncing words if I don't use them all the time. You know, it takes me time to learn that. But anyway, so, and then there's, like, that's just kind of like the basic list there. I can deep dive way more into that, but I feel like I don't want to be sitting here for hours on end just going on and on and on. But anyway, I try to close this off best I can. Really hope that what you see here is informative, even though I do talk really, really fast. I will say that maybe in the future videos I'll try to keep it slow, try to get more in depth if I can, try to get more explanation without rushing into things. You know, I just have a habit, you know, my autistic brain is just like, yep, just talk really fast. It's just how it is. How my brain goes sometimes. It thinks very quickly, then it makes my mind go really quickly, and my mouth go really quickly, and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I'll try to wrap this up right now. Hope you enjoyed this one. The next episode, we'll just try to go, there'll be different kind of things I talk about in each episode. Not really sure how long I will be doing this series for, but, you know, it's something I want to do for fun. In the meantime, I am our mustache. Really much hope you like this video, and it gives you a little, kind of a more informative, like, in-depth view of prog rock and prog metal. And I will say, hope you hit the like, subscribe button. Don't forget that bell icon. It would be really, really great if you could. I would love it, love it, love it, love it. I will put a link on this video to link you to Prog Archives, where you can pretty much, if you want to, do a little bit of research about prog. I find different prog rock bands, prog metal bands, and all that stuff. It's really good, informative tool for anyone who loves prog. In the meantime, I will say to all you good, wonderful, gorgeous, sexy people, love you all. You are so wonderful, and thank you for coming with me on this journey. And until next time, I'm our mustache. Adios.